Hello and welcome to Find Out Nation. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie,
I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
and we're here to talk about what happens when a nation fucks around and starts finding out. This is our second episode, I think, in the new year.
Yeah.
Last week we had a lot going on. This week we have even more going on.
Even more, yes.
Even more. But before we get started,
Yeah.
Nicole, do you have some countdowns for
I
us?
do. We're 271 away from the midterms.
Nice. I read an article today that referenced that we're only 9 months away from the midterm elections. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
that feels good.
Yeah, that does feel good.
That's just a pregnancy.
Right.
I've gone through
literally.
one of those.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
literally.
that.
Yeah.
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 Like
that
9
sounds
months.
really
That
good.
felt good. So yeah,
I like it a lot.
271, you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can get there. We can get there.
And
Okay.
we are 380 in.
Oh, that one just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Out of curiosity, do we have any golf sightings that you can speak of?
Let me look, because when I looked earlier, they don't have anything for February, but they did update January a little bit. So this says 93 days. So 24% of the presidency, $130.2 million has been spent.
Wow.
Golfing.
And like we know he's golfing on days that are not quoted on this.
Yes, because this website is only updated when it's a confirmed sighting. So like when the press sees him, something like that. So yeah, he's been out and about on the golf course where he hasn't been sighted, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
25% of his presidency. I love that. I love that journey for us. Honestly,
Yeah.
like if he would just stick to golfing and do nothing else, I'm like, okay, here's my money. Take it and just go golfing. It's sort of like when he was big on Greenland and everyone was like, could we just take him to Alaska and tell him that he can buy this and pretend it's Greenland? And
Oh my God, hilarious.
Did you see those memes that were like,
no, but that's great.
Should we just take grandpa to Alaska and be like, here's Greenland, you own it, and show him like the American flags and be done with it. Like, that's it. And I was like, yeah, I would at this point pay good money to just get him to shut the fuck up. Like, okay, here.
Yes, literally.
Okay, well, this week has been a big one. Of course, last week we covered the murder of 2 American citizens, Alex Preddy and Renee Good. At the time, the fever pitch in the country was reaching, I think, a boiling point. Most people would agree. We were facing a government shutdown over DHS funding. There were a lot of protests happening.
Yes.
That dipshit Bovino was demoted and sent off to like his retirement early.
Yes.
And they brought in Tom Hooman. So some updates. The government shutdown did occur. However, it was pretty quickly reversed on Tuesday. However, with the caveat that everything is funded except DHS, and now DHS, they are going to try and figure out funding by the 13th, next week. I'm a little frustrated.
Uh-huh.
I go back and forth with this because like DHS funds FEMA. They have some other programs under them that are relatively important. So I do believe that DHS funding is important.
Yes.
With that said, a government shutdown of everything come Saturday was a much bigger deal than, we're going to like force, because a government shutdown of just DHS doesn't hold as much clout as anything else.
Well, right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that's my point, is like, it's not as big a deal if like we shut down over just DHS. With that said, I'm also like, I feel like Democrats could take a bigger brunt of the blame for this than one big, beautiful, disastrous bill back there. So I don't know. So the government shutdown did occur on January 31st, but it was reopened on Tuesday the 2nd. It was voted on 217 to 214, and that only funds DHS through next week. They have until 2/13 to sign a new deal on DHS. That also, I think, told you controls ICE, but also FEMA. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up right now is that House Democrats are fucking heated because they're saying that the Senate is making a bunch of agreements and not including like Hakeem Jeffries to the party. So they're like, if there are any bills and any deals to be made between Democrats and Republicans, like it can't just be Chuck Schumer
Right.
and the Republicans making deals. Like it has to include Hakeem Jeffries. So like Representative Pramila Jayapal, who is the
Uh-huh.
Democrat from Washington, said, we are the ones that are closest to the anger and the frustration of our constituents. We need Senate Democrats to start negotiating with us and carrying out our demands instead of just constantly caving to Republicans, which I get it. Like I
Yeah.
totally understand that like
Yeah.
they have their own set of demands and Democrats need to be a unified front. There's like a saying that they're like Democrats do something but Republicans fall in line. And if
Oh,
like Democrats aren't working as one unified unit, we're not going to get anywhere with
no.
anything. And
No.
I don't love seeing that this is how
Yes.
it's already going. You know what I'm
Well, yeah,
saying?
because we can't defeat the Republicans in the midterms if we're too busy fighting ourselves.
Correct. That is exactly correct.
Huh.
So I get the reason why we would actually try and start working with Republicans on the demands, because I do think that probably Americans would be more critical of the Democrats for holding up funding in this type of
Mm,
scenario. But
hmm.
I don't love the fact that we're not like holding fast on all of our needs. With that
Yeah.
said, I did see a like I think it was on CNN that like things are breaking down, like discussions are already breaking down. And basically, Mike Johnson is like, yeah, we're going to step out of the way and let Donald Trump do what he does best, which is negotiate with the Democrats, whatever they want, and just leave it to them to get whatever deal. Cause, you know, he is the expert. And so
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
if it's really getting left up to Trump working with Democrats,
Uh-huh.
let's see what happens.
Uh-huh.
See
Yeah,
what happens.
100%. Yeah.
Right. With that said, Tom Hooman did take out, like I said, well, I might not have said this yet, but 700 agents out of Minnesota. That leaves just above 2,000 agents still left in Minnesota, which obviously accounts for maybe a third of all agents there. Of course, still protests going on. But now Trump has floated the idea of entering 5 other U.S. cities. He has not released the name of those cities,
I
but
was
he
just
has
getting ready
said
to
that
ask if he'd said what those cities were. Okay.
he didn't. But he said this time he realizes that he might need to take a softer touch, but still stay firm in dealing with these criminals, and that he wants to be invited to enter these cities.
No one's going to invite you. Newsflash. No. You infiltrated American cities and were flatly told by the governors of those states, we don't want you here. And you said, too fucking bad.
Well,
Like,
but so let me ask you this. Let's say he wants to do Kansas City or St. Louis,
oh my God.
but what do you think our governor would say?
Oh, our governor would open the door for him because our
100%.
governor's MAGA. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's where now I think he's looking
He's going to
is
go into the red
for
states.
decidedly blue cities in decidedly red
Red
states. We
states where the
already know
governor
that
won't
he had,
do anything.
right. We already know that he had talked about North Carolina, which has some blue specks of blue and a state of red.
Uh-huh.
We know Florida, like Miami is a blue city and a red state. We know Atlanta is a blue city and a red state.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
St. Louis is a blue city and a red state. So this is what I'm saying is that, you know, this idea of, will we be invited? If he tries to do, substantially blue cities and red states,
You're
we
right.
might see a different type of response.
Yeah. I mean, there's still going to be protests, but
100%.
yeah, but there won't
And there's still going
be.
to be mayors telling people to go fuck themselves.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, the mayor of Minneapolis did, where he was like, get the fuck out of the city.
Right.
That'll still happen. But at the end of the day, at least Trump can say, hey, we were invited here by the governors.
Well, yeah. And like Mayor Lucas was on Rachel Maddow Monday night. He was only on there for like 3 minutes at the end of the show, but it was discussing the new ordinance that they passed where they will not allow any building. I don't really know how the ordinance is phrased, but where like the big industrial buildings that are being built everywhere, that are vacant right now that they cannot be used
For
as
ICE.
for ICE, that they can't be used to detain people for the federal government for 5
Yep.
years.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Good.
yeah, I hadn't even thought about them going, because I just figured, we're still going to go into blue states trying to strong arm them for their voting stuff, because that's really what it's about, more so than it is about
Yeah, but
immigration.
right, but if you think about places like Texas,
Mhm.
or you think about
Mhm.
even places like uh Washington, the whole fucking state is very blue, but Oregon is
Yeah.
waivers. Even Kansas can
Oh
waver
yeah.
back and forth. So it's
Yeah.
like we'll
Well,
see
and
what happens.
yeah, Steve Bannon said today that he wants ICE agents at every polling station in November for the midterms. So he's in Trump's ear saying the same shit or worse to him if he's
Oh,
gonna,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, yeah.
100%. So anyway, so that is the exciting and interesting thing that's going on there in Minnesota. But I have another story that I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
This is related to a person named Julie Lee. Julie Lee is listed in public records as a Department of Homeland Security attorney. She has been detailed to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Her detail is now over in the wake of some comments that she made.
Oh God.
According to an NBC News review of court records, she has picked up 88 cases in
Oh
less than
Jesus.
a month around
Jesus.
deportation cases. Correct.
Okay.
She got brought in and was basically, so U.S. District Judge Jerry Blackwell ordered the government to explain why it had not followed court orders and immigration proceedings, including not releasing several immigrant detainees that he had ordered to be let out because ICE and Homeland Security were not complying with the judge's requests for documentation
Oh
to prove.
my
Yep.
God.
So Blackwell said in an order this week that the government's failures were alarming because the government's persistent non-compliance with orders in this district was extensively detailed just last week, pointing to the decision that we talked about in our last podcast, where he said the Schlitz, which is the chief U.S. district judge, wrote that his patience is at an end and the government had failed to comply with dozens of court orders. That's the one where that guy was like, all right, I want the director of Homeland
Yes,
Security in
in
my
my
fucking
in my
courtroom right
chambers.
goddamn
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And so they're like, fine, we'll release them. So now Blackwell is saying, yeah, same thing. Like we keep telling you, you have to release these people.
Yeah.
Lee tells Blackwell that during the hearing on Tuesday that it takes at least 10 emails from me for a release condition to be corrected. It takes me threatening to walk out for something else to be corrected. So she finally says,
Oh God.
this system sucks. This job sucks. I wish you could hold me in contempt so that I can get 24 hours of sleep.
Oh, that's a woman who's had it. That
You bet your ass. So she says this to the judge and she's like, yeah, I get it. But what I really want to highlight here, and this is what you and I have been saying for a fucking year. And I'm going to talk about ICE and their hiring. The Department of Homeland Security has put, so one big beautiful bill just like quadrupled
Yeah.
the budget for Homeland Security. Like they added so much money for Homeland
Yeah.
Security
They have a bigger budget than the FBI.
than any other federal agency.
Yes.
You are absolutely
Yes.
correct. With
Yeah.
the FBI, theoretically should be the fucking biggest.
Yes.
So
Yes.
here they have this huge budget. They put all their money into hiring ICE agents and put none of their money into what's required on the back end for managing these immigration issues and legal problems that come up. They put absolutely no money into that whatsoever. And now this is what you are sowing. And not only is this bitch like, go fuck yourself, please arrest me so I can get 24 hours of sleep. She's like telling you that this is an absolute goddamn nightmare. And yet our answer is let's fire this lady.
Oh, well, sure, because how dare she speak out?
Right. So
They're
she's
like,
been removed
you
from.
wanted to sleep? Okay, well, you don't have a job, so you can just sleep permanently now.
That's right. So all I know is she's been removed from her position. I don't know if she was actually fired or not, but I will tell you that her co-counselor resigned last week in protest.
Oh
Yep,
my God.
that's right. So, so there was an NBC affiliate that was reporting from this hearing.
Yeah.
And they reported that Lee said it was like pulling teeth to get the Department of Homeland Security, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the Justice Department to follow court orders. She made the remarks after this Judge Blackwell ordered the government to explain why it had not been following court orders. Like to your point, she was a bitch done with what was
Yeah.
happening. And it just shows how much this administration has put all their money into hiring and
Yes.
arresting people, but gives no shits to actually having the infrastructure put in place to managing what happens after the fact. And the reality of that is that this is why this whole thing is, and I get it, like they're doing it to scare
Right.
immigrants. Their
Right.
whole point is like, the only thing that they care about is scaring immigrants. If you expose yourself, then we're going to arrest you and deport you. And they're doing that specifically because they know at the end of the day, minorities, they vote traditionally Democratic. And so if they can scare immigrants out before they're ever able to get to the point where they actually like become US citizens, they can try and reduce the number of minorities in the country that are voting for Democrats. I get it, but what a fucking heartless way to do things. And I'm sorry that your very own district attorneys are struggling, but that's what's happening. And
Well, and it just shows, like you said, they put in no infrastructure. They had no, because they never expected the blowback that they've had. They never, they thought they were just going to be able to put people on planes and it was going to be fine.
Or
nobody was going to stand up to them.
even worse, not just put
In
people on
detention
planes,
facilities.
put people in detention facilities, and then we've lost them. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they weren't citizens anyway. Why do you care?
Right. What did I read the other day about alligator Alcatraz? That
Have they closed that down yet? I thought they were supposed to at some point.
So they have, but I was reading something about that they said that there are missing people.
Oh, shocker.
That they're like,
Jesus.
Yeah. So this says there were like, there was a Miami Herald investigation and they are estimating that there are hundreds of missing people stemming from alligator Alcatraz.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, imagine if that was someone that you loved.
That's exactly right. Like at the end of the day, yes, that's exactly right. Yep.
Like here, legally or not, they are still a human being.
Okay. So, yes. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
The Miami Herald reported that the whereabouts of about 2/3 of over 1,800 detainees held at the facility in July could not be determined.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I apologize. I totally interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
That's fucking imagine. Like 2/3 of 1,800 employees, you're talking about 1,000 people that they would not be able to, they don't know what happened to them.
And yet they're not going to have to answer for that. You're not going to figure out where these fucking people are because they just vanished. Like, we know you came and got them and we know you took them there. And now they're what? In the bottom of the swamp? They've just,
I guess. Or they're in one of these detention camps that's outside of the US. Like who fucking knows? Right. Who knows? It's infuriating. Okay. So this is in stark contrast of the hiring that Department of Homeland Security did. But there was a Reddit thread. And so I don't want to report this as legitimate reporting because facts are facts. Like there's been no journalistic proof of any of the claims being made here.
Yeah.
However,
but it's juicy still probably and fun.
Exactly. And it's coming from people that like legitimately should be the ones that are saying, anyway, it's sort of like a believe people moment, right? So
Oh,
there
sure.
was a Reddit thread, right? There was a Reddit thread that was ice-ero. And so the ice-ero thread was supposed to be for employees of ICE or ex-employees of ICE to express some of the challenges that they're having as employees, right?
Mm.
And for a while, this was a public group, but not surprisingly, some of their posts have been showing up in the press. And because of that, it very quickly got shut the fuck down.
Oh God.
But so if you go out to the Department of Homeland Security, there's an article about their hiring. After receiving more than 220,000 applications to join ICE from patriotic Americans,
Oh
ICE blew
God.
past its original hiring target of 10,000 new officers and agents within a
Blew
year.
right past it.
In fact, we have more than doubled our officers and agents from 10,000 to 22,000 officers. With these new patriots on the team, we will be able to accomplish what many say was impossible and fulfill President Trump's promise to make America safe again. So, all these people were offered sign on bonuses. All of these people were like, hey, here's $50,000 for you to sign on, right?
Yeah.
Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin was quoted as saying, the good news is that thanks to the big, beautiful bill that President Trump signed, we have an additional 12,000 ICE officers and agents on the ground across the country. That's a 120% increase in our workforce, and that's in just about 4 months. Okay. So again, all their big, beautiful bill money went to hiring these ICE agents and did not go to ensuring that we would have infrastructure to handle what they were generating. Some of the posts on the Reddit thread. Subject: health insurance. Have been here for about 2 months. Still waiting for my health insurance. Is anyone having that issue as well? I chose the BCBS, which I assume is Blue Cross Blue
Blue
Shield Basic.
Cross. Yeah.
Yep. MSS told me that they don't know how long it'll take. I have a sick daughter with no insurance. Another agent says, anyone getting their bonuses yet? I didn't. Someone responded, I didn't even get paid yet for the base check. Still waiting on my bonus. Another person
What?
responds, don't expect much. It's like 6,000 after taxes, and they put it in the regular paycheck. So you end up paying about 4,000 to 5,000 in taxes in one check. Because didn't you say that there is so much like fine print on these bonuses? Was it you that was telling me that?
So, yeah. So I saw something again. I didn't do a deep dive. I saw a reel on Instagram where a guy was talking about the fine print when they sign on to become ICE agents. And I didn't do a
Yeah.
deep dive to fact check it because I just didn't. But he
Right.
was saying that $50,000 bonus, they only get 10,000 up front. The remaining 40,000 is split off into annual payments years 2 through 5 after that.
Yep. I
And
heard that
then
too.
if they quit or are fired for any reason, you have to pay back what you've already been given to the federal government.
Yep. Yes.
And there was something else.
The
And I was just
50,000
like,
is not guaranteed. It's a
oh yeah,
maximum of 50,000
they
based
have to
on
meet a
your
quota.
role.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think this guy said that like in order to meet the quota to get the like annual stipend or whatever, you'd have to do like 8 arrests or 8 interactions or whatever. You'd have to log at least 8 a day, every day, all year long in order to meet the quota to get the annual payout of your bonus. I'm like, this is what
Yeah.
happens when you greedy motherfuckers don't want to read the fine print and you just go and
Well,
sign up to be, you know,
and
part
this
of
is peak MAGA. This is peak
a
Trump. Like,
100%. A
this is
hundred
peak Trump.
percent. Yep.
So one guy
Because
posted on
everything's
the
a
thread,
grift.
of course, one guy posted on the thread, man, Monday is 4 weeks since I started and I haven't been paid yet.
Why are you still working? Who
Because
fucking yeah. Jesus
you know
Christ.
why they're still working. You know why they're
Because
still
they still
working.
love it. They love the
That's
fact
right.
that they get to say that they're ICE. Yeah, that they're so fucking patriotic. Just like she said on Christy Nome or whoever it was, like that, yeah, that, you know, these are true patriots. Because
Yes.
they're all a bunch of fucking January 6ers who, like, I'd
Yep.
love to get paid, but I'm doing it for the love of the country. Well, your love of the country
Indeed.
doesn't pay your fucking bills, fool.
No shit. Speaking of Christy dipshit Gnome,
Yeah.
did you happen to read the article of impeachment for Christy Lynn Arnold Gnome? I did not know she was a Christy Lynn. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I am not surprised. That seems fitting
Yeah,
with her previous face. Let me put it that way.
indeed. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. It's like, that's not surprising at all. But
Her original
so this is
face looks
House
like a
Resolution
Christy Lynn.
100,000. Like if this bitch was on a Real Housewives, she would get called at like Christy Lynn for sure. For
Uh-huh.
sure.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, all right. So House Resolution 996 is impeaching Christy Lynn Arnold Gnome, Secretary of Homeland Security. So these were introduced on January 14th by Representative Kelly Robin, the Democrat from Illinois. Okay, so the resolution basically says that she had the following bad stuff that she did. Number one was obstruction from Congress. And they basically cited several instances where lawmakers from individual states requested access to processing centers, detention centers, immigration centers, and they were denied entry. So they are stating that that is very clearly an obstruction of Congress. Article 2 is a violation of public trust, which, like, at the end of the day, like they're talking about they used military style tactics, they raided apartments, they drug US citizens out, like blah blah blah, like all of that. Okay, I get it, but the one that really surprised me that I did not know, Article 3, self-dealing. Christy Lynn Arnold Gnome has violated 5 CFR Part 2, 2635, misuse of position, by using her position for personal gain while inappropriately using taxpayer dollars when she used her position to circumvent the federal contracting process and funneling federal funds to her friends' businesses. Christy Lynn Arnold Gnome used the cover of a national emergency to bypass the competitive bidding process and direct federal dollars to close close associates. Secretary Gnome used taxpayer dollars to fund a $200 million ad campaign for recruiting ICE agents. She used the national emergency declared at the southern border to bypass the normal contract process and instead awarded the multi-million-dollar contract to several Republican-led agencies, one of which was formed days prior to the award, and it was subcontracted with the Strategy Group, a company run by the husband of senior DHS official Tricia McLaughlin and a close friend of the bitch Christy Lynn Arnold Gnome. And no, it does not call her a bitch in the article, but
But it
can
might
you
as well have.
fucking believe that?
Oh my God. Well, like months ago, I reported on something similar that stupid Ron DeSantis in Florida did, and that him and his wife were under investigation for the same kind of shit. Like these fucking people they think they're so goddamn smart and that they can do anything they want to and get away with it. Right. And it's fucking galling.
The gall.
Yeah.
And the fact that we ran on drain the
swamp. Yes.
Makes me want to unleash a fucking crocodile on these people. Are you kidding me?
Yes. Well, and we run on our Christian morals and our Christian values. And like we're arresting independent reporters for, interrupting a Christian church service, but we're out here, circumventing the laws to benefit our friends.
Right. To clearly award contracts to our BFFs. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
So, yeah, wow. I had to read that one too.
That.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hadn't either. I had to read it and I was like, holy fucking shit. Okay. Switching topics.
Yeah.
Some of the Epstein files were released.
Oh, God.
So on Friday, they released 3.5 million new files. Of course, this still only represents about 60% of the total files. So we're still waiting on a huge portion of it. Okay. But amongst them was a spreadsheet. Do you happen to follow Jake Tapper on Insta?
I don't think that I do. I don't think I do, actually.
Okay. So I didn't either. But Jake Tapper posted that basically there was a Excel spreadsheet of all the claims all of the like, I don't know if these are the most salacious claims, but I will tell you these fucking claims are salacious. Many of which included Trump, some of which included other people, but many of which included Trump. And it was like a spreadsheet, and I'll pop it up on the screen for those of you who watch us on YouTube. But it was like, here's what they are. And then a lot of them were highlighted. And so it was like the claim, who made it, and then what the FBI did to investigate it.
Okay.
It posted on Friday. By Saturday, the motherfucker was gone. But Jake motherfucking Tapper had already taken screenshots, thank God. And so those are out on X if you want to go look at them. Again, I'll post them on this so you guys can kind of see what they look like and pause the video if you want to read through them. But I would like to read some of these claims.
Oh God. Oh God.
When this was posted on CNN, they said, and so I'm going to repeat this. It should be noted that these complaints are uncorroborated tips to the FBI, and the existence of these tips does not indicate eventual credibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sure they don't. Okay.
Right.
Number 1, Trump accused of raping a teenager. In a complaint made by a friend, the president was accused of forcing a 13 to 14-year-old to perform oral sex on him. The victim's friend reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that this was the other thing that really fucking sucked, is that they were real bad about, they would redact sometimes the people's names and then not redact them again. Mm-hmm. And so now the victims are actually asking the DOJ to take down the files, do a proper redaction, and put them back out there. One of the survivors did come out and was like, finally, they showed proof of the notes that were taken in 1996 when she originally reported this to the FBI. And she's like, I've been saying it. But the FBI has continuously said, no, we don't have proof. We don't have evidence that this has happened. So to see it in black and fucking white in these fucking files is like, okay, bitches, you knew about this in 1996. I told you this was happening in 1996. Why did nothing happen? And so she's like, it's been very, very self-confirming and emotional to see these things released. But with that said, so many of the other victims are like, here you are saying that you're going to redact our name to try and protect our identity. And yet you did a terrible job of redacting names.
And because some of the victims have never come forward. And then their names are out here in these fucking lists, and they've never even come forward. And it's intentional. It's intentional.
I agree,
some of the pictures I saw
now.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I am interrupting you.
No, you're okay. Like a couple of the pictures I saw, they had blurred out Trump's face, but it's clearly him standing at a podium. Then one of them had Melania's face blurred out, but yet we've got victims' faces just out here in the daylight.
Yep.
Like it's very obvious that it's intentional.
Not to mention the fact that they're hoping that, right, if they do this, the public outcry of what about the victims will force them to take down these files, and then they can take more time to actually redact them. Like, it's honest to God, Nicole, I swear to God, Trump was on TV the other day talking about AI, and I'm like, all you have to do is fucking put the victims' names into AI, and it would go in and redact this whole fucking thing for you. Like, how stupid do you have to fucking be? Anyway.
Yeah.
Husa. So clearly, the friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said that she was also abused by Epstein, the complaint reads. In the response column, it is noted that an investigator was sent to Washington to conduct an interview. Okay, so did they interview Trump? They sent him to Washington. Right. Okay, this one is crazy.
I mean,
and I don't know if this again is true, but yes, 13 years old girl. All right. Another in Epstein's orbit made an allegation of sex trafficking and murder. Here's what the complaint said. Complaint reported that Donald Trump participated regularly in paying money to force her, 13 at the time, to perform sex acts with him, and alleged Trump was present when her uncle murdered her newborn child.
Because she was pregnant when she was being forced to do things with Trump.
So she was pregnant. She had the baby. Her uncle murdered it in front of Donald Trump. Yep.
Like,
Here's another one.
I can't get it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. So a something came out recently that I thought was really interesting, where it was posted about, basically, that said, here, let me find it. Hypothetically, if someone was accused of having sex with goats by over 30 different people and regularly denied it, but also dropped very public hints about how much he liked to have sex with goats for decades, and ran a goat pageant to find the best looking goats, and was best friends with someone who got convicted of fucking goats and trafficking goats to friends all over the world who also like to fuck goats. And his name was in the classified Goat Fucker Chronicles 38,000 times, and he wished other goat fuckers well in prison. What do you think that the odds are that that person is also a goat fucker?
Yes, that's a great analogy.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, I swear to God, like, do you remember when fucking Scream came out and she's like, you can only hear the Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you've
Oh,
got to believe that it's true?
that it's true.
Come
Yeah.
fucking on.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Sorry. Whew. Some
That's okay.
other accusations included things like Donald Trump participated in these calendar girl parties at
Oh,
Mar-a-Lago,
girl.
where Jeffrey Epstein would bring children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured their vulva and vaginas by sticking a finger into them and rating the children on their tightness. The person alleges that Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump were all present at these alleged parties. Robin Leach said, or it was claimed that Robin Leach, which for those of you who are our age remember the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous,
Uh-huh.
strangled a young girl at a party. And that person was threatened by Trump's head of security that if she ever talked, that she would end up as fertilizer for the back nine holes. Oh, there's
Kind of
your
like
dinging.
Ivana. Sorry. Kind of like
Yes,
Ivana.
that's all right. Yeah. Um, and that Epstein gave Bill Gates advice on hiding alleged STDs from his wife from all the women that he had sex with, all the Russian prostitutes he had sex with. So,
Did you see
like,
her Melinda Gates's response to that today?
yeah, yeah. Which,
Yeah.
again, if
Yeah.
Bill Gates, I don't care what he's done with his foundation.
No.
If Bill
No.
fucking Gates is in the Epstein files and the man is guilty, the
Yep.
man is guilty.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
So to that point, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
To that point, there were some other people that were listed in the Epstein files that are claiming absolutely that they were not part of the comments. Musk and Lutnick. So Elon Musk, of course, was said that he had never spent any time with Epstein, but there were several correspondences between him and Epstein where it kind of looked like he had asked to go to the island. But here's what was weird about that. The way that I read the email was like, Epstein was like, yeah, I don't want to go to the island for some relaxing weekend. I really need to party. What kind of parties are you having on Epstein Island? And or on the island. And then there was another one that was like, hey, do you want a helicopter ride to the island? And Epstein's like, yeah, I want, it's just me and my wife coming to the island. So I, Elon posted on X that he had very little correspondence with Epstein. He declined repeated invitations to go to the island or fly on his Lolita Express. It would be, and he, talked about how it'd be crazy. He's been the one that's been calling for the release of these files, blah, blah, blah. I am tempted to believe that Musk, while he probably participated in things that happened, also does not recognize the fact that he was, you know what I mean? Like, I have not read any allegations that Musk did anything bad. I have not, like Bill
Oh, I see what
Clinton
you're
is
saying.
seen in pictures with women.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And
Like,
Elon is not. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
I understand that, like, anything can be put into these files, and I get that.
Right. Right.
So I understand the idea of looking at each and every case from a critical perspective. I do. I
Yeah.
get it. And I get what Elon is saying as like, listen, yeah, I might have had correspondence with him. I roll in these circles. I was friends with Trump. Like that alone should mean that he went to
Right.
prison anyway. I mean, fuck
Right.
him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I also am like willing. So, like, there are pictures of Diana Ross. There are pictures of
Oh.
like, so
Mhm.
I also am like,
James Brown and like, yeah. Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
that not everyone, but with that said, there's no doubt in my mind, if you were part of his inner circle, you knew what the fuck was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's
Just like
no
if you
way
were
you
part
didn't,
of
right?
Diddy's inner circle, you knew what was going on and you're complicit.
Indeed. Indeed. The one that I am most curious about right now, which I will never get an answer for, is Michael Jackson. So there have been
Oh,
quite a few pictures of
yeah.
Epstein and Michael Jackson, and we know Michael Jackson was like convicted of
Mm.
touching and having
Mhm.
inappropriate relations with young men.
Mhm.
I'm real curious as to how much like it would not surprise me in the least if Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking males as much as females for his
Oh.
friends like Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It wouldn't
You know what I
surprise
mean?
me either. Yeah, 100%.
Right. Okay. The one other thing that we wanted to call out today because we fangirl over Caitlin Collins.
Yes.
What a motherfucker. So Caitlin Collins today yesterday,
Mhm.
asked the president about a response to Epstein victims in the wake of the new documents being released. And I'm sure she was like specifically calling out or wanting to call out the fact that a lot of the Epstein victims are saying, hey, you didn't redact people like you should have
Right.
redacted them. But
Yes.
she's not even able to get her full question out. She's like, how do you respond to Epstein victims? And he immediately cuts her off.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And his response is, you are so bad. You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile.
Uh, oh my God. I don't know how these people are professional, girl. I don't
Right.
know.
I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face. You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. You're a very dishonest organization and they should be ashamed of you. Okay.
Fucking
The
crazy.
fact that
Yes.
he even feels the right to
Mhm.
talk about her smiling
Mhm.
is all the evidence I need to know that he treats women like the pieces of
Like he's
meat that
accused
he
of
thinks
doing.
they are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, 100%.
Guilty.
Yes.
Guilty,
Yes.
guilty, guilty.
And I don't know how I mean, clearly it's because she's a professional and that's why we fangirl over her and we love her so much. But I'm just like, I don't know how she didn't say to him, are you serious right now that you're telling me to smile? Because she knew if she reacted that way, she'd have had her press pull, her press credentials pulled, and that would have been it. And she
Yep.
wouldn't have been able to get in. But I'm just like,
I'm dying.
I want someone one time to just
Just
lose
smack
their
him down.
fucking shit and just be like, just like the fucking DA that was like, this job fucking sucks. Like,
Arrest me.
yes, I just want one person to do like what April Ryan did during Trump 1.0 in the press briefing room when he had the audacity to ask her to set up the meeting with the Black Caucus. And she's like, I am a reporter. I'm not your secretary. I don't set up meetings for you with the Black Caucus. I'm asking you why your administration hasn't done that. Like, I want someone to go even more scorched earth and just be like, I don't give a shit if I do get my credentials pulled and I can't ever cover this administration again. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Yep. Yes. So Jake Tapper did come out and defend Caitlin Collins, as
Good.
did CNN. They both like
Yeah.
really defended her. But yes, I'm with you. I want to see a smackdown
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like we have never. I'm dying for it.
Because
I'm dying it.
the reason he reacts that way, right? Two reasons. One, because he hates women. And
Yeah.
two, because he's fucking guilty and he wants this shit to go away so badly. He can't fucking stand it and he can't control the narrative and he doesn't like being asked questions about it. And so this is he has to lash out because he doesn't know how to handle it professionally or responsibly because he's fucking
Right.
guilty and he knows he's guilty. And you know what
That's
else
right.
I thought of is, what do you think he's
What?
done to his own daughter? He has done all
Well,
these things
we
to
know he sexualized his own daughter. We know
100%.
that.
He's on Howard Stern doing it. He's on other talk shows doing it. It's creepy and gross, and it makes me hurt for her because I just wonder, beyond just the inappropriate comments, the horrible things that he said sexualizing her, if he like actually acted on anything, or if that's just what
Of
all
course
these
he
other
did.
children were for, was because he wouldn't
Just
let
because he
himself cross
owns the
that
goat
line.
doesn't mean he's not fucking that goat
Fucking the
too.
goat. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, he
Yeah,
diddled his dog. Like yes, there's no
it's
doubt in my
fucking
mind.
horrible.
Because to your point, this psychopath sees women as products, not
Mm-hmm.
people.
And property to
He
own.
property as products. He
Mm-hmm.
looks at it. The women are
Mm-hmm.
an attractive product to own and to do whatever you want with. And if it means you want to stick your dick in it, whether you own it or not, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to stick a dick in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting. The one other thing that I had on this was, of course, Trump's Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, who vehemently denied that he had ever spent any time, like literally
Oh,
was quoted as saying, I spent zero time with him.
yeah. Don't even know the guy.
He, yes, he absolutely turns out, of course, like he had lunch with him a couple times. There
Whoopsie.
were emails
Yeah.
going back and forth. Like, but again, like, I love Masterclass. I don't know if you ever
Oh,
watch
yeah.
Masterclass or
Yeah.
not, but I love Masterclass. I have a membership to Masterclass. One of the more recent things that they put out was a show about longevity, like, and being the old fat lady I am. Of course, I watched it because I'm like, wow. And of course, it was like diet and exercise, and I'm like, okay, go fuck yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
not
it is
helpful
what
to
it is.
me.
That's not helpful. But regardless, the person that was on is this Peter Attila person,
Oh, uh-huh.
Peter Adia. And Peter Adia is basically like he's supposed to be like the longevity doctor. Okay. Well, and let me tell you that like he's super hot. So there's
Yeah.
that. But he had a bunch of responses back and forth with Epstein that were clearly like raunchy and inappropriate about. Now, he never talks about underage women, but he does talk about like he got a picture of a girl from Jeffrey Epstein and he's like, he talks about her pussy and he talks about how
Oh
lucky
my
he
God.
is. And he's like, I can't believe how lucky you are. And I can't talk about your wild world and like just the most inappropriate things. Come on. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
yeah, because just because they may not have been underage doesn't mean they were consenting to what was going on.
right, right. Like the underage piece is some of the worst pieces, but
Yes.
we know there were rapes. There was like,
Yes.
to your point, non-consenting sexual relations, assaults. Like
Yeah.
we know that.
Yeah.
We know that. And
Yes.
so whether to your point, yes, underage is bad, but it's
Yeah.
not the only bad thing
No,
here.
it's
Like
just
Jeffrey
one
Epstein
slice of
was
the pie.
convicted. That's right. That's right. Anyway. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Woosah.
Wusa.
Okay.
Yes.
The one other craziest fucking thing. And so we know that today, I think it was today, maybe yesterday, Supreme Court came out and said that California can use its redistrict maps. The glorious thing about this that I am honestly fucking shocked about is that um Gorish came out. I think he was the one that wrote the paper for the Supreme Court. maybe it was Gorish. It was one of the white ones,
Ah!
which yeah. But I
Which is either
can't
not
remember who it
Ketanji
was.
Brown Jackson or
One
yeah.
of the white males. One of the
Yes.
white male was
Hilarious.
the one that wrote it, but I can't remember which one. Regardless, came out and said, "Listen, it is clear that Texas did this for political gains and California did the same thing. We can't say no to them and say no to you guys, so you are approved to use this in your whatever." So,
Oh my
California's
God,
done,
I
baby.
love it.
Yeah.
I
So do
love it.
I, because at the end of the day, like, it gives me some hope, or at least makes me see that the Supreme Court is recognizing that
Their own
if you
hypocrisy. Yeah.
indeed, if you are so blatant about your hypocrisy, maybe they
Yeah.
realize that Trump's not going to be on office forever. Like, I think Trump has
Yeah.
tried to sell the GOP this bill of goods that I will make sure you guys stay in power forever if you just stand behind me. And that
Yes.
is the whole reason for all of this. And so the fact that it's like, dude, so the redistricting was plan A for keeping, the Republicans in power for the midterms.
Yeah.
That has now ostensibly probably not done what Trump needed it to do, right? So plan B is Donald Trump suggests Monday that Republicans should nationalize voting, the latest escalation in his administration's effort to step into federal elections ahead of the 2026 midterms. In a podcast interview with former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Mr. Trump repeated his claims that people who are in the U.S. illegally are voting in federal elections and urged Republicans to take over the voting in at least 15 states. He says, Republicans should say, we want to take over. The Republicans ought to nationalize. It's shocking to me how blatantly he is saying the Republicans should say, we should nationalize the voting. And then we have states that are so crooked and they're counting votes. A day later, Mr. Trump said in an Oval Office event, while flanked by lawmakers and members of his cabinet, I want to see elections be honest. And if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it.
Which means if it looks like I'm going to lose the election, then we need to come in there and take it over.
You got it. If you're New York, California, Washington State, any of the New England states that historically vote blue, Illinois, Colorado, we have to come in and nationalize your elections because clearly they're fraud. In fact, he went so far as to this last week, he sent Tulsi Gabbard into Atlanta to research the Georgia election in 2020. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
To confiscate that shit. Yeah.
That's right. When at the end of the day, like, yeah, surprisingly, most of the Republicans did not back Trump. Mike Johnson was even like, I think it was Mike Johnson. See, I read all this shit and then I try and remember it. And
yeah, it's hard.
I think it was I should say it was one of the white guys. Anyway.
Exactly. Pick one.
I think it was probably Mike Johnson.
Them. Yeah.
Right. Came out and said, you know what? I think it's harder for someone to hack 50 state election systems versus one national system. So I will continue to support a statewide electoral system, which at the end of the day is extremely explicit inside the Constitution.
Yes.
So anyone that believes in constitutional law has to believe in state-run elections. Come on.
Yes.
Especially because there's been no proof that there's been any fucking fraud done in any of these state elections.
No, he just lost and he's pissed about it. And he's never going to be able to get over it. He's going to die pissed about it.
And not only is he pissed about it, but he has sued all these states.
And lost.
Time and time again. And lost.
Yes. Yeah. And that's when Georgia came out and was like, we went through multiple audits for this. Like, everything was above board. But what I also love about this, that is also the epitome of MAGA, is that we need to federalize our voting, and the federal government needs to rewrite the Constitution so we can take over all the voting. But it's a states' rights issue when it comes to, your education, and when it comes to, the SNAP
gay rights,
benefits and
trans
that kind of thing.
rights,
Yeah, we're going to just
abortion,
turn all that
all of
back
those
over to the
things.
states. The federal government doesn't
That's
need to be
right.
involved in that. Like, are you
That's
fucking
right.
kidding me? You can't have it both
Yes.
ways. Like, what are we
The
fucking doing?
hypocrisy is
Yes.
blatant at
Yeah.
this point. Blatant.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
knew that. We knew that.
I
That's how
mean,
it was
it's
going to be.
everything that you deal with them. Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's everything you deal with them. And what's crazy is they would say we're the hypocrites because we're the ones that are like, well, abortion shouldn't be a state right, but voting should be. But the reality is, right, is that we fought our fight with abortion. It is what it is. That I personally believe Roe versus Wade should never have been overturned. That
Right.
everyone should have access to this because not only should it be a state right, it should be a human right to be
Yes.
able to get the abortions that they want to do. But the reality is that this is written in the Constitution,
Right.
just like
Right.
individual liberties are written into the Constitution. That at the end of the day,
Yes.
it's so blatantly obvious in my mind who actually has read and adheres to the Constitution and who is 100% willing to throw that away when it serves its purposes.
Yes.
Even when it comes to the Second Amendment. Even when it comes to the second fucking amendment.
Yeah. We saw that blatantly after Alex Preddy was murdered.
We saw that motherfucking blatantly. You are exactly right. Yes, you're exactly right. Some other big headlines this week. Trump shuts down the Kennedy Center for 2 years for major renovations.
Yes, Reno work. You know, kind of like the East Wing. We're just going to probably
Well,
implode
no,
it.
the East Wing was even worse. But at least in this case, like you've had 95% of performances, ticket decline sales. 82% of performers are saying they're not going to perform. Blah blah blah. Sure, major renovations. Let's see what happens.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, what renovations do we think he's going to do?
I hope to God that it literally is just lip service as to why we're shutting down the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
And he's not going to actually make any changes to the Kennedy Center, but let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Because he doesn't have enough on his plate anyway. It's fine.
Indeed. Well, and all of the renovations to the East Wing have been shut down. So he's got this whole construction crew that's never going to get paid, by the way. Right. He's probably looking for something to do. So maybe he can send them over to the Kennedy Center to get something done.
That's true. We'll just put some porta potties out in front and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Joe Rogan finally came out and said the Minnesota stuff is a deflection on Epstein files. Welcome to the party, Joe Rogan.
Yes. Thank you for waking up from your coma. What the fuck?
So glad you've entered the conversation.
Yes.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, does he want an attaboy for finally figuring it out? Like, I don't fucking get it. Like,
do we think we'll learn anything for the next election? When you know JD Vance is going to be running as the Republican darling, and he's going to be running against a Zohran Mamdani national, candidate, whether it's Pete Buttigieg or some other candidate, do we think Joe Rogan has learned his lesson that he has figured out what is going on here?
No,
not at all.
I think he'll forget it all again conveniently.
Of course he will.
Yeah.
Of course he will.
Yeah.
And speaking of learning their lessons, how did you feel about Marjorie Taylor Greene's recent podcaster coming out and saying that MAGA was all a lie?
What? No, I haven't heard this.
Oh, so Marjorie Taylor Greene had an interview with a podcaster on Monday, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that it was Monday.
Okay.
Right. And this, of course, is the bitch that came out and said Trump was right about everything. But she came out and was like, yep, it's all a lie. Everything that Trump said he was going after America first is not true. That all he does is make sure that his cronies are the ones that are getting all of the contracts. Oh, yeah.
And she was fine with that when she was the darling of MAGA.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
He was just fine with that.
Yes. So again, we are all of a sudden learning our lesson that yes. So she went on, when was it? I'm trying to look. Marjorie Taylor Greene tells podcaster why she thinks MAGA was all a lie. Oh, it's a video.
God damn it.
Maybe I'll link something below because I think it would be interesting for you guys to actually read
Yeah.
it or listen to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, she basically comes out and is like, "Yep, it was all a lie. I was hoodwinked,
I was
the
hoodwinked.
whole thing."
Bitch,
Yeah.
you knew from the very beginning, you were just like all the rest of them. You were willing to look the other way as long as you were being favored. And so
Yes.
don't give me this bullshit of like I was hoodwinked. I didn't know I had Stockholm syndrome and I didn't know that this is what it was. Like you're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Yeah.
1,000%
Oh,
you're full of shit. But you know what I just thought
yes.
of when you said MTG? What happened to our girl Bobo? Where's Bobo at? What rock is
Yeah.
she sitting under right now?
Okay, so this came out on Tuesday. Former
Okay.
Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene said President Trump's Make America Great Again slogan was a lie, saying her first year back in office was focused on obliging wealthy supporters. I think people are realizing it was all a lie. It was a big lie for the people. What MAGA is really serving in this administration, who they're serving is their big donors, Greene said in a Wednesday interview with radio personality Kim Iverson. The big donors that donated all the money and continue to donate to the president's PAC and donate to the 250th anniversary and are donating to the big ballroom. The former Georgia representative recently resigned from Congress after airing concerns over the future of healthcare premiums. She said the big boners are the people that get the special favors. They get the government contracts, they get the pardons, or for somebody they love, or one of their friends gets a pardon.
Like Nicki Minaj? Like
Yeah, girl.
what? Like, I'm sorry, MTG. Maybe that is news to the MAGA crowd. It's not news to any of the rest of us that have critical thinking fucking skills.
Indeed.
Jesus
So
Christ.
again, welcome to the party, Joe
Yeah.
Rogan and
Welcome to the
Marjorie
chat.
Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Too bad you weren't here how many 391 days ago
Yeah.
and could have helped prevent this goddamn fucking
Yeah.
catastrophe of a
Because
presidency.
you were willing to write it out through the first Trump 1.0, and then all during the 4 years of the Biden administration continue to pile on with the Trump delusion and the
Yep.
bullshit. And so now all of a sudden we're supposed to be like, oh my God, now you've had an awakening. So we're going to forget the things that you've said and you've done. Go
Yep.
fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. I will say so in reading the Denver Post and a couple of other papers around
Mm-hmm.
Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
they are saying that the Democratic challenger for Lauren Boebert is out um, fundraising them by like 10 to 1.
Oh, I love this.
And do you remember in our last podcast that I was like, my husband flashed a Dean Withers thing to
Yes.
up?
Yes.
Right. So I figured out what that was a Democrat flipped a red seat in the Texas state Senate
Oh,
race.
okay. Yeah. Because I did see that later. Okay. Yes. So that's what he was
Yes,
telling you about.
it was. And
Okay.
there's been another red seat. And I want to say, flipping a flip red state Senate seat. There was another state Senate seat that I feel like flipped blue. Everything that's coming up is Texas, or maybe it's like they're worried that another one is going
It's
to come
gonna
up. But
flip.
yeah, yes.
Interesting.
So in this very
Yeah, I love
red
it.
Texas, whatever,
Yeah.
and you think that your redistricting of Texas is going to solve all
Uh-huh.
your problems, we'll see what happens. Now, with that said, every news organization is like, Democrats cannot just get
Right.
complacent with like, we're going to ride a giant blue wave. It's like, we can't just
Yes.
assume that's going to happen. And
Yes.
I agree, we can't assume that's going to happen. And especially if we have infighting among Democrats, it's going to be a real problem.
Yes.
But
100%.
like Zoran Mamdani has already like solved so many of the problems that he promised to solve in New York that if this is the, what do they call it? Case. If this
The
is
test case?
what do they call
The test case?
Yeah, like the test case of like proving out that an actual progressive can win and make a fucking difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this could actually make a difference in the upcoming
Yeah.
elections. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah.
What about you? Anything that
No.
you have that we haven't covered tonight?
Nope. That's all I
Okay.
have.
I would love a happy ending.
Okay, it's really sweet.
Okay.
Are you ready for it? And it has a really
I
cute
am.
picture that you might have to pop up for the ones that watch us
Okay.
on YouTube.
You know I'm down for popping up pictures.
So last weekend, most everybody knows that like a large swath of the country had really, really cold temperatures. We had all the things, right? So
Yes.
what is this dated? I don't even know.
You're
Oh
like
yeah, literally.
2023.
It literally was. Yeah, last weekend. So I just wanted to make sure
Okay.
it was recent. So
Yeah.
over last weekend, a Kentucky farming family welcomed a new calf into a frigid world of single digit temperatures and quickly realized that it
Oh.
would not live the night because it was too cold.
Oh. Yeah.
So the so being a mother as well as a farmer, Macy Sorrell decided to bring the calf into their home where she was certain that
Of
it would
course.
be okay. It fell asleep
Girl,
on the
I
couch.
want a house cow. I want a
Oh
house
my
cow
God.
so bad.
Yes. It fell asleep on the couch next to her two children, and she took a photo of it, and it
Ah.
is the sweetest thing. So on last Saturday, they went to check on the pregnant cow as the sun was going down, and she'd already given birth, and they didn't realize that she
Oh.
had already birthed the calf. And
Yeah.
the calf was frozen. Her umbilical cord looked like a popsicle. She was frozen. So
Oh.
having lost a calf
They
last year to
saved the
frostbite,
baby.
they decided they had to do whatever they could to, save this calf. She
Yeah.
had ice on her when they brought her into the house because like they don't know
Oh
when
God.
she,
Yeah.
when the cow gave birth. She still had the
Yeah.
afterbirth on her, like all the things. They had to clean her up. They had to do all the things. But their 3-year-old son, Gregory, is the one that was cuddling with her on the couch and is asleep with her on the couch. And it is the sweetest freaking thing. Gregory named her Sally.
Oh
So,
God. They're never eating Sally.
nope. Sally's with him for life. So,
Yeah.
so Sally was reunited with her mother after the temperatures came up and whatever. But yeah, Sally is now
Okay.
gonna, probably be a forever
Gonna be
fixture
a
on the
nice
farm.
dairy cow for
Yes,
the rest of
exactly.
her life.
Yes.
So, interestingly enough, you know that we've had a journey here. We hashtag Nolan Farm,
Oh
Nolan
yeah.
Pastures.
Yeah.
We, if we can get especially our meat as close to the earth as we
The
can,
source.
and we
Yeah.
do it. I don't eat vegetables, like vegetables, but
Yeah.
if I can get my meat as close to the source, I absolutely will do that as much as I possibly can. We are still eating on our half hog that we bought in the fall. So to that point, like our farmer, Trevor, I hope he doesn't mind me using his name on our podcast, but he's been on other podcasts with me before, so I don't think he would mind it.
Yeah.
But I'll check it before I release this, and I might redact his name if I need to. But regardless, like he specifically had named all of the fucking pigs that he was taking to slaughter, and I'm like, you have to stop telling me what my pig's name is.
Oh God.
Like, he's like, don't worry, we'll just assign a number and then you'll have a number. And I'm like, if you tell me that number 321 is like Paula, we're done. Like we're not eating Paula at breakfast. Like that's not going to happen.
Well, and I
so
100%. And like for those of us that have like the first book that the second book I ever read and fell in love with as a kid was Charlotte's Web. And I grew up in a farming family. My grandparents had pigs. I wanted a piglet so badly. And they would never let me have one because they were raised strictly for slaughter. And that's, you know what I mean? Like they were never going to let me have a piglet. And what the fuck was I going to do with a big ass hog once it was no longer a piglet? You know what I mean? Like hundreds of pounds. Like that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But
if you ever get your compound.
Yeah. Are we going to have?
So dear listeners, my girlfriend there's a possibility that she might have land in her future.
If we're all lucky.
If she gets her land, I am begging her to start a compound where we all live happily as one big, like I have my house on the land. Our friend Jessica has her house on the land. Nicole has her house on the land.
Yeah.
If, other people want to build on land, it's up to Nicole because she's mayor of Williamstown. But at the end of the day, like this is my dream is we have a compound. Please, mayor of Williamstown, can we get a little Highland cow piglet farm going?
Here's the thing. I'm not taking care of them. Because at the end of the day, pigs are fucking gross. They're dirty.
So here's my thing. Right. I have a husband that's trying to retire. You have a daughter that hates her job anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like we could pay them.
And Jessica's
to
got
take
a daughter
care
that's
of these
all
animals.
about the animals.
Indeed.
Yes.
You're 100% right. Like
so true.
Jessica, right.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
we have resources that
We
will
could
take care of these
definitely
animals for us.
designate a couple of acres to like, here we go. Here we go. Where I can just go
This
in.
is where our
Yes.
is where our house cow lives.
Yes. And if I would do a micro pig, I just don't want a giant ass
Yeah.
hog.
That's what I'm saying. Like we don't want
Yeah.
giant ass hogs. We want
Yeah.
something small. Same with the
Yes.
like I want a Highland cow
Yes.
because they're smaller, right? They can
Yes.
be in the house.
Exactly.
And like Betty will, like, she's a livestock guardian dog. She'll round them all up
True.
for us whenever we need.
We could get
Yeah,
some
okay.
goats. We could get some fainting goats.
I love it. We have
Yeah.
gone down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We need to stop. But if anyone has any other suggestions on what to do with our Williamstown compound,
Yes.
no Kool-Aid involved, like
Yes.
none of that. Just,
No.
that's right. Just
Yeah.
cute animals and people who want to have drinking partners within walking distance.
Exactly.
Like that's the whole goal.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
100%.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I did love that happy ending. That was very satisfying.
It's so cute.
I love that you always leave me satisfied and smiling.
It's what I live for. I aim
That's
to please.
right. I love that. Maybe if we invited Caitlin Collins on this podcast, she would smile more often.
She might. Maybe if she got a happy ending after every podcast. Yeah.
That's right.
Just be cheerful all the time in the White House.
Indeed. Indeed. But you know what? That bitch doesn't have to do jack shit because she's really fucking good at her job and Trump can kiss my fat fucking ass.
Exactly.
With that said, woosah. Thank you all for listening. Please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to send this to people that you want to annoy with our very liberal opinions. I love it. With that said, feel free to comment. Oh, girl, we got a troll. I was so excited. You responded to our troll that was like, "Oh, how dare you talk about your vacation?" Yes. And I was like, "Oh, look at us. We have a troll. We've made it big."
I tried,
like this is proof we've
really
made
did.
it.
And I tried so hard to be like empathetic and understanding and like this is not what our intent was. And yet at the end of the day, we're all still allowed to live our lives. Like I have sympathy and understanding that like your situation is different than ours. And I hate that for you. And
that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're working to try and get that changed. Yes. But to your point, 100%. Like we're still allowed to live our lives.
And
in all fairness, appreciate the comment. Love the feedback. But at the end of the day, I cannot tell you how excited I was that we had a troll.
Yes.
That we had a negative comment that I was like, look, we've made it. We've made it big. Because like at the same time I read that, I also was reading some like podcast responses from some actual big people. And like big podcasters and big like content creators. And I was like, oh, look, they get negative messages. We got negative messages. Look at us.
Like we're finally part of the club.
Right. Okay. Like that's step 1 into the club. So we'll see if we get to step 2, which is like more than 100 people that actually listen to us. But for the 100 of you that do listen, we love you so much. We appreciate you listening. We hope you enjoy this content. If there's anything that you want us to cover, again, feel free to comment. There is one person, this person that has emailed me and is like, multiple times about the podcast, and I have ignored her messages multiple times, and I am a horrible person.
Oh my God.
So I will be responding to you in the next couple of days. She knows who she is. She retired from my previous employer. I love her to death, but I just have not like had the time to sit down and formulate a proper response. So I will be responding to her, but I was so excited because she was the one that missed our podcast. So I will respond to her. With that said, we love you all. We hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. And I will try and get this out earlier than early next week. But if not, will be early next week. And hopefully, like I said, I'll get it out earlier than later. But with that said, we love you all and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.